Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about the books that I'm planning on reading in February. It's gonna be an interesting month. I have a lot of things planned, a lot of video ideas, and of course my cat is running again. Every time I'm trying to film, there she is, having her zoomies. But we love her anyway. So yeah, February. I can't believe the year is already a month old and we're going into February, which is my favorite month because it's my birthday month. Also, it's still a winter month, so it's gonna be cold, it's gonna be rainy like right now. It's always good to have great books to just cuddle up with, get a hot drink and just relax and take time for yourself. Let's get right into the books that I want to read. The first I want to talk about is a German book, so excuse me if you don't read German, but I just had to mention it right away in this video. It's a book that a friend of mine wrote. She has published a bunch of books already, and this is her newest release. The release date is today, the 1st of February, and it's called Wie Papierschiffchen im Fluss by Julia Stumpf. This is the author that wrote the Northern Love series. Maybe you know that one. She wrote it under a different name, but it's the same author, the same writing style, the same amazing ideas, and I can't wait to jump into this one. This is a second chance romance set in Germany, and it follows a woman who seems to have everything when she meets her first love, and she starts to question everything that she thought she knew that she wanted in her life. Like I said, I can't wait to read this. I just know I'm gonna love it, and I've seen everybody already talking about it and quoting some of their favorite scenes, and I'm like, I need to read it. I need to get to this ASAP. Another book that I have to get to quickly is the first book in the Wheel of Time series. This is The Eye of the World. This is a reread for me, and I started the reread last year. I'm already on page 150. I still have, I think, about 500 pages to go, and the live show for this read-along is on the 4th, I think, so on Saturday. Ugh, I need to get to it quickly. I did just now get the audiobook for this, so maybe this will help me. I do remember loving the series when I first read it, like the first couple of books in the series, so I really want to get to it, but I do know it's a chunky one and I know it's gonna be epic, so it is gonna take a while to get into it. The Eye of the World, or the Wheel of Time series, is epic fantasy, so a lot of balls in the air, a lot of things going on, very political, big world building, but from what I remember, it starts off in a little village in the middle of nowhere where there is suddenly an attack by creatures, and a group of young people is saved by a kind of witch who deliberately came to their village to find these, I think, 5 or 6 young people, because one of them is supposed to be the dragon reborn, which is a savior from way back when and is supposed to be reborn. And now that this dragon is reborn, we don't know, or the people don't know, if this person can save the world again or destroy it, because time is on a wheel, so everything comes back. Everything that has been will be again. Chosen one trope, very big powers, and everything that you love in an epic fantasy. Another book that I need to get to this month is for another read along, and that is for the Catch Up Book Club, and that is The Blade Itself, which is the first book in the First Law saga by Joe Abercrombie. I actually don't really know much about this, only that it's epic, only that this is a slow start to the series, so very character based, just getting to know the characters, getting to know the world, etc. So I know going into this that it's gonna take a while, but everybody who read this series is in love with it, and I'm hoping that I will too, so this has to be read this month because the live show for this is gonna be at the beginning of next month. The next 3 books that I want to talk about I mentioned on Instagram already for a TBR for a readathon that is happening right now. If you want to follow me there, I'm going to link everything down below. This readathon started in January and is going until the end of this week, so the 5th. So I still have a bit of reading to do for that as well. And it's called the Little Cafe Readathon. You basically have a location, a drink, and a snack. And for each of these, you get to choose a prompt. And for the location, I chose to be on a train, which is to read a fantasy. And I'm still reading Tress of the Emerald Sea, which I started in January. I only need to finish that one. And then I still have 2 books to go. And that is for my drink order. That is, I'm drinking a coquito. And for that, I have to read a book that I didn't get to in 2022 and in January 2023. And that is These Hollow Vows by Alexi Ryan. I was gifted this in February last year for my birthday. Like I said, it's my birthday month, and I didn't get to this last year. I think the sequel is already out as well, so I could just binge the whole series, but I really want to get to this first one because it was gifted to me. All I know about this one is that it takes place in the Fae world. There are 2 courts, and a young woman is making a deal with the king of, I think, one of the courts to steal relics, and for that she has to go to the other court undercover. I'm guessing from the cover that there's going to be a little love triangle. Fae and love triangles are not typically things that I look for in books. They're not my favorite tropes, like, at all. I usually avoid them, but I've heard great things about this series, so I want to try it, and like I said, it's a gift. And for the snack prompt, I'm eating a mooncake, and that is to read a book that has a secret in it. So I chose The Helm of Midnight by Marina Lostera, and again, I don't really know much about this, but it has intrigued me from the first time that I've heard about it. And this is set in a magical city, and it sounds kind of like a very gothic, very dark city with shadows and secrets, and there is a serial killer on the loose. So I guess it's also like a fantasy mystery, trying to figure out what's happening, and I have high expectations for this. I also have the sequel that is coming out in February as an e-arc, so that's also why I wanted to put this on a TBR, as like for the readathon as well as this one, just so that I know I'm gonna get to this one so that I can continue with the series as soon as possible. Speaking of books that I was gifted last year for my birthday and that I didn't get around to reading, there are 2 more. So I want to do a vlog where I read all the books left on my TBR from my birthday last year. So like I said, These Hollow Vows is the first one of those, and then I want to read Das Buch der gelöschten Wörter by Marie Argana, which is a German book, obviously, the start of a series. I've heard great things about this, and I think it's finished, so I think all of these books in the series are published, so I could again binge a bunch of these if I like it. And the next book that I want to read for this vlog is The Hollow Heart by Marie Rutkowski. This is the sequel and the final book in the Midnight Lies series. Not sure if that's the title of the series, but that's the first book. I read it, I think, 2 years ago, and I enjoyed it enough that I wanted to get the sequel since it's only a duology. I did enjoy Marie Rutkowski's other series more. I remember having trouble getting into the first book of this series, and to be honest, I don't really remember much of it, which is also why I haven't picked up the sequel, even though it's gorgeous. But my sister gifted me this for my birthday, and I do really want to continue with this. I enjoy the writing style. It just wasn't what I expected from having read the first series of this author, so maybe I just need to put that aside, like my love for that series aside, and give this a second chance, basically. But yeah, that's also one that I need to get to in order to finish the books that I've been gifted last year, because I'm guessing that I'm gonna get new books this year. So for me personally, February is my birthday month. But for everybody else, of course, there is Valentine's Day. I do love my romances, but I do prefer my Galentine's Day, to be honest, which is the day before Valentine's Day, the 13th. And it's basically a day to celebrate friendship, and who doesn't love that? For that, I'm planning on reading a bunch of books that have great friendships in them. I was recommended a couple of them, but it's very sci-fi heavy. I have to say, which I'm not mad about, because one of my goals this year is to read more sci-fi, and I've been meaning to get to all of these for a very long time. But I do think there are other books that have great friendship groups in them, so if you want to recommend me some, please let me know down in the comments which books you would recommend me for a vlog about friendship. That can be just friendship between two people, or a friendship group, or found family. I would love to know which books you would recommend me. Sorry if the angle changed. I had to change my battery. So I'm not going to talk about the different books that I want to read for that vlog. I want to keep that a secret, but here's a little hint. So I have 4 right now, but I would love to know if you have some that you would recommend me. But speaking of Valentine's Day and all things love, let's talk about the Heartstopper Readathon. I only heard about this like 2 days ago, and of course I wanted to join right away. This is such a cute readathon centered around the graphic novel series Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. The host of this is just Martine, but I also have to say thank you to Natalie from Natcat's Bookish Cafe, where I first learned about this and immediately had to go check it out. This is a month-long readathon with a bingo board and different prompts for each of the characters, and you can either try to get a bingo or you can just try to read books for one character. In the middle there is no character, there's a little leaf. If you know, you know. And for that you have to read queer books. So you don't have to read contemporary for this readathon, but my thoughts are I already have so many fantasy and science fiction books on my TBR. I thought I would use this readathon to get to a couple of contemporary books. Can be a romance, can be a contemporary, fully is queer. Just make sure that I don't forget the contemporary romances. I'm not gonna go into the different prompts or the different characters or what I'm planning to read for them. I'm just gonna see what the month brings me. I mean, it is the shortest month of the year, and here I go putting so many readathons, readalongs on here. But I just wanted to mention this because it is so cute. And I do think these prompts are so perfect for each character, but also for the books that you might choose for them. Like there is a prompt for a haircut, which is to read a sequel that is shorter than the first book in this series. Or for the glasses prompt, you have to read a book that will give you a new perspective on something. So it's just little cute things like that that I thought made this very special, and I really want to join. So fingers crossed that I will get to some books for this readathon as well. Speaking of readathons, I still have 2 more that I want to talk about. So much going on in February, Jesus. So next week, starting on the 6th of February and going until the 12th, so the first full week of February, we have Polarthon. And for Polarthon, we're trying to read as many snowy, wintry books as we can. This is hosted by Jade from JD Reads, and she's trying to save the polar bears. We all are. For the polar bears. I'm not sure how much I'm actually going to read for this readathon, because I think time-wise it needs to be that week that I read the books for Galentine's Day so that I can go up on Galentine's Day. So I don't know if I can combine the two. So if you have any recommendations for books that have great friendship groups but also are set in winter or have winter magic or something along the lines, let me know. That would be amazing. I do have a bunch of books stacked up right here next to me that have winter themes, but I did say in my goals video that I also want to read unseasonal books, so I can still get to them even if it's summer or like spring, autumn. It's still fine. I'm still gonna get to these, but it might be great to just read some for Polarthon as well. But since I don't know how many I'm gonna get to, let's start with the first book that I want to read for this readathon. And since Jade made it a spin the wheel kind of readathon this time around, we're gonna spin the wheel together and I'm gonna see what kind of prompt I have to work with for the first book that I'm gonna read. So let me just put this on screen record and we're gonna see where this takes us. This is gonna be so... let's hope for something good, because I think I have some books for most of these prompts, but some are very difficult. Okay, here we go. You don't see me doing this. Okay, here we go. Animal friend. Okay, I might have something for that. I do have 3 books that might fit the prompt. I mean, it doesn't have to be polar fantasy, since it's a prompt on its own, animal friend, so I can just read any book that has an animal friend in it. But I would like to try to make it a little winter themed. So let me know if you think animal friend would also work for like magical creature, because in Frostheart there are different creatures like on the Frostheart on the ship, so we would have like a Yeti. Would that fit the prompt is my question. Don't know. But then I also have The Girl in the Tower by Catherine Arden. This is the second book in the trilogy, and I think at the end of the first book she has a pet horse, so that would also work if the horse actually plays any part in this one. If you read this, let me know. And then I only have the German arc for this one here, but I also have the English one, and it's called The Republic of Birds. I've had it for years, and I know that Jade loves it. So I might actually finally get to this one. This is in German bookstores right now, so it would actually help me for my job as well. And it's middle grade, so this should be a quick read. I'm gonna put up the picture of the original cover because I think you see there's a bird on there. Republic of Birds. There should be birds. If they're friendly, I'm not sure. We'll see. So that's my first prompt. If I manage to read a book for that prompt, I'm gonna spin again and we'll see where the vlog will take us, if I'm vlogging. I'm not sure yet. Let me know if you would be interested in that. Oh, still recording. Whoopsie. The last readathon that I want to mention here is the 72 hours in the haunted house. I'm gonna make this fit my reading tastes because I do really want to be part of this readathon, but also I'm not really the thriller horror reader. You're probably asking yourself why you're participating if you're not into that genre. FOMO. I mean, obviously. This readathon, you have 2 spinner wheels and you can decide each day to go with one of the spinner wheels and you can't change it until the next day. I changed it a bit. I removed the prompts that didn't really fit any books that I want to read, and I just kept the ones from both wheels on one wheel in order to help myself a little bit. And I have some books here on my list that I do want to get to. So let's spin the wheel and see what prompt I'm gonna start off with. So here we go. Let me record it again. Okay, here we go. So spooky word in the title. And it says H in the end, so this is the one that I got from the horror wheel. Let me see. Spooky word. Oh, I'm still recording again. Stop doing that. Okay. So one book that I've been meaning to get to that I have on script, I think, is Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes. So I know it's about a ghost ship basically, where like a salvage crew has to go and trying to salvage everything that they can, but things happen. I don't know much more, but that's fine. And I think dead is kind of a spooky word, but I also still need to read the second book in the Ninth House series, which is Hellbent. And I'm not sure if you would say it's horror. It is fantasy horror maybe, so I think that would count as well, and hell is a spooky word in my opinion. The one book that I really want to get to during that weekend is 5 Survived by Holly Jackson, and it says 8 hours, 6 friends, 1 sniper. So I think they're going on a road trip, they're in an RV, and at some point they get shot at and only 5 of the 6 will survive. All of this takes place, I think, in 8 hours. So people have been trying to read this in 8 hours, and I think I want to do that as well. That's the only one that I really want to put on my set TBR, this one. That's also the weekend that Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin is doing a little geekathon for his patrons. I want to be part of that as well, but I think he's using this 48-hour readathon to read a bunch of manga. I don't read manga. I don't have enough graphic novels to fill 2 days, so I think maybe I will use the sprints that he's probably going to do to read for the 72-hour readathon. So 2 birds, 1 stone. Speaking of Gavin, there's also the book club pick for his book club for his Patreon, and we're reading The Last Storyteller this month, so I still have to somewhere read that one. So many books, so many books. But let's not put all of them on the TBR. I mean, I do have to work and live my life. Okay. I think those are the ones that I wanted to mention. Let me try this. Okay, so we have, oh, this is a lot. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna get to all of these. Oh, let me put it down. Nope, don't fall. Okay. I guess I better get started. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you did, and subscribe if you want to see more of me trying to accomplish these things. Let me know down in the comments what you're planning on reading this month, and I guess until next time, I wish you an amazing February and all the great reads. Bye. Ah, that did not go well. Pray for me.